Hey everyone, Salesforce Shorts here. So today we're just going to talk about how do we invoke our Apex class with a flow. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to go into Setup, go to Developer Console. So in the Developer Console, we're going to open up our make_get_callout class. So we created this in our previous video. So if you haven't seen this and you're not sure what's going on here, just go check that out quick. Okay, so first things first, what we need to do is we need to use the @invocable method. Okay, so without this method, we won't be able to see this flow in Salesforce. Okay, so the only thing this does is this shows this Apex class in the flow. So we're just going to call this API callout test. And with this, we need to add callout equals true, okay? Because if you don't do that, it's not going to work, because what we're doing in this class is we are making an external callout to a URL, okay? So if you're not making a callout, you definitely don't need that. So up next, we're just going to create a public static void. You can probably just call this API-C. And in there, we're just going to put a list. And we'll just name that test. Okay. Sweet. So just chuck that down there. So we've got a couple of issues here. Alright, yeah, so because it's a void, we don't need our return statement. We'll just add in this system.debug to see what the response is. And just got an extra curly bracket there. Okay, perfect. So now that this part is all done, let's go back into Salesforce. So we're going to go into Setup and create a flow. So in the quick find box in the top left, just type flow. And we're going to create a new flow here on the top right. So once we're in here, we're going to use a record triggered flow because we want to use this whenever there's an update, okay? So let's just wait a second for that to get created. So object, for now, we'll just use the account object. We want it to basically trigger anytime when the account object, let's use so if we go back into Salesforce, we'll go into our account. Let me just go into this one here. So details. So we want to basically trigger this every time our fruit object that we created changes to orange, okay? So back in my flow builder, I'm just going to type in here fruit. So that's the custom object equals orange. So that's pretty straightforward. And we want to do this only when a record is updated and meets the condition requirements, okay? So now we're going to click done. And just change this to freeform. That's pretty much it. So up next, we want to bring in a action. Click on the top left, go to type, Apex action, and select API callout test. So that is the label that we've got in here. Okay, so that's what this label is for. So in here, let's just call this API-C. And we'll just put in a random value of 1 and click done. So the next step is, what we want to do is just drag that down there. Actually, we need to tick this little box here because it needs to run asynchronously because we are making a call out to an external system, okay? And then click done after you do that. Don't click cancel. So we're just going to remove that, pull that down there, and run asynchronously. So once you click done there, let's just call this API-C. So that's going to be the flow name. Save that. Got a little heads up, but that's okay. So if we debug this, we'll skip the start condition, select account, just select this account, run that. Now if we expand this, all right, so we can see the callout was made. So if we go back into the developer console, we go to the bottom left here, click on logs. You can see this one here that ran just about now. So double click on that. And you can see a whole lot of stuff here. Don't worry about that too much. So easiest thing to do is just click on debug log and you can see our response. Okay, so in our class, we've got the system.debug response and it gets the body of this URL. Okay, and that is Trailhead is awesome. So yeah, thanks everyone.